Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's, exploring with blades and C++. This is number 6, and it's our first spelt wrong server. Okay, and it looks like my thingy has gone for a walkabouts. As you can see, everything's up and hunky-dory, so I'll just get rid of that reminder because it doesn't seem to be happy with it, and I know why. It's just one of those things, unfortunately. It wants to shove me an error, and I can understand that. Now, what did I do wrong? Yes, I did download SDLNet, and I didn't do anything wrong. It was just the dependencies. I forgot to look in bin. Yes, the bin folder. And yeah, there's a .dll here, which means a dynamic linked library, as opposed to SDL2, which is a static linked library. It doesn't need a DLL. Static gets compiled into our program. A DLL sits outside in debug here, and is accessed at runtime, so the library is held separate to your exe. Yeah, so that's what I've done wrong. Also put it in release as well if I were you, in case you ever do a release build. So that's a little bit of thought. Otherwise, that's all we needed, and obviously there's our SDLNet. Let's see what happens, see if I got it right this time. And there it is, press any key to continue, it's coming up. Whoa, there we go. SDL works, SDLNet works, yay! Everything works. Fantastic. So yeah, our first server, huh? We've downloaded some files off the internet. It's a library, and we've included it. We said that it works. So far, not so bad. Let's get all this code out of the way first of all. Debug, don't need you open. Source. Okay, new file. Module 2. Dun, dun, dun. And I will have a hash paragma once. I did put that in module 1, didn't I? Yes, I did. So the same kind of idea with module 2, except we don't have any files. Oh, yes we will have. So what we're going to need, let's have a namespace of module 2. Sounds simple enough so far. Good. Void init network. Yeah, that'll do. Init network. Anything really. Doesn't really matter. Right, so module 1's okay. We don't need that open. C++, let's take from here. From the enable standard application logging all the way down to that one there. No, all the way down to that one there. And we'll cut that. No, we won't cut that just yet. Let's cut that first. We'll need these outside, because everything's working. He says. Now, I haven't said anything so far about the standard of programming in this series, but it's about to get worse. On purpose, but about to get worse. So don't worry about minor things like how it looks and all the rest of it. Alright, so that's the bit we need to that bracket. We can now cut that, making our file a bit better, and paste it here. Just pop you back a little touch. But yeah, we seem to have too many brackets here. I know why, yeah. It's because it hasn't indented it. Alt, Shift, and click, Tab. Looks better. Yeah, that looks better. They're all matching up now. I've got the lines up so I can tell. Yeah, that's nice. I think that should work. Shouldn't it? I hope so. Okay, what can we do about this lot here? Right, okay. Let's start here. 2 stars, please. And it's going to be module 1. And that's strings. Module 2. That is going to be network. And that's all we've got at this point. There we go. Just pop you up one. So, hash include. That does annoy me when I don't do that properly. And it's going to be a source / module 2, please. Thank you. Module 2 will need these includes, otherwise it definitely won't work. So I'll copy those over. Okay, so as you can see, there's no highlighting on here because it's not a header file, so it's not recognizing it as a C++ file or a C file or anything like that. It's just a straight text file. Okay, so that's why there's no highlighting in here or errors. There we go. So I don't know if there are any or not. Namespace. Module 2. I'll keep that there, so that's alright. And this is going to be void server. That's where we're going to put our server. We've got our quit. And I've got the pause. So all we need now is a line here that says init I'm going to change the name on it. I'm going to call it init module 2. There you go. We are now initting module 2. That looks okay, yep. Alright, okay. Haven't changed anything in there. Init module 2 is an error. Is it? Okay. I don't care. Let's write a server, shall we? This is going to be fun. Oh, you can't do that, can you? Can you? No, that is wrong. My bad. Take that off. Take that off. Take the namespace off it. That's right now. That'll work. If we put it in module 2, it means we have to put the words module 2 in front of it, and then colon, colon, and in it module 2. I don't want that. I want this. So that's okay. And this is going to be module 2, colon, colon, server. Can I just do that again and find out what the heck just happened there? Module 2, colon, colon, what? Oh yes, init network. It still thinks I've got that there. Never mind. Silly thing. Hasn't got a clue what it's doing, which is good. I like it. I like it when I've got it completely confused. This is me having a go back at Windows for having .dlls in their code, which I'm not used to because I like Linux. I do my programming on Linux. Init module 2. I've got to make sure of this bit now. Yeah. Okay. So how do you make a server? I don't know. Of course we do. We've just downloaded the thingy. Just go and read the instructions. That I am not going to do. I don't think that's worth it. Okay, let's just make a server and hope we get it right. Lovely coffee. So let's have a bool, which is a true or false, something new. We'll call it server running. There we go. We'll put that equal to true because we want it to run. Yeah, that's my way of thinking. If you've been on the internet ever, you've probably heard of an IP address. So IP, we'll need one of those, won't we? IP at, oh, it's coming up. Oh, that's interesting. IP. So what's that? Can I peek declaration? Peek definition, there we go. Oh, it's a structure. It has a host and a port. So that will be a number and a port, won't it? All internet thingies are numbers. Web addresses, they're all just numbers. It's called an IP address. So www.googie thingy. Oh, well, I'm on YouTube, aren't I? www.youtube.com is an IP address, but in words, so that us humans can read it. And the computer looks at it as a set of numbers. That's all. It has a port, so we'll have one of those. Int port. Any random one will do. Don't use anything below 2000, please. Not wise. You've got up to 65,000 ports on your computer. A port is like a plug socket. It's a plug socket that you can plug things into, like internets. So we'll use port. Yeah, that came out all right. 2,250. There you go. One at random. Right, let's get this SDL networking, shall we? No idea how this is going to work. How do we do this now? It's going to be underscore. We'll need an IP address, won't we? To do that, they call it resolving, resolve host, or resolve IP, one of the two. We're the host, aren't we? We're the server. Okay. That will definitely the address of our IP. It'll need to know that it wants to be a server, so it's not trying to attach to anything else like a client. So the address it's trying to attach to, we'll just set to null because it isn't. It's going to attach and wait to see for incoming traffic. That's why it's called a server. And that's what the null means. And we'll need the port, won't we? Yeah. I think we should put the port there. That looks okay. Fantastic. We're making this up as we go along, aren't we? Whoops. That's me coffee. Excellent. Now, I said it was a plug, like a plug socket, and we are going to use TCP. Transmission Control Protocol, maybe? Communications Protocol. Yeah. Okay, I'll go with that. TCP, oh, it's got a socket, so let's have one of them. Again, it came up for us, so can I just have a peek at that definition? Yeah. It's a struct, or it's a pointer. That's it, it's a pointer. Yeah, it gives you some information there. Always good to look at the information. It's a bit like having the manual typed out in the documentation. Because I said documentation is important, now you know why. Because you can then do things like peek at definition, and you can read it. Look, it's all here, the documentation. And you go, socket, blah, blah, blah. Tells you about it there. So that's our plug socket. Sorted. Server. And we'll put that equal to SDLnet. And we'll tell it it's TCP. What can we do with the TCP? Open, maybe? Yeah. Might be a good idea to open it. We've now got the IP address from Resolve Host. So we'll put that address in here. So we're now going to open our port or socket to that IP address so that people can contact us on that IP address. That's helpful. And I'm also going to have another TCP socket for the incoming connection. For now, let's just have one, shall we? Let's not be greedy. Let's start with one client. There we go. That's it. So we don't know what it is yet because they haven't contacted us. If they do contact us, we'll give them a reply. So const char, and it's star text. We'll give them a reply, some text, and we'll say welcome C++. C++ how will be your server today? Full stop. And of course, backslash return carriage, why not? I'm going to do quite a lot of naughty things today. As you can see, these little red markers are coming up nicely. I don't know. Now we need to ask our server to go into a loop and sit there and wait for somebody to connect. So let's do that while the server is running, or server running. We shall do something. What shall we do? Client. Well, we're listening for a client. We're listening on that socket. That's the best way of putting it. That plug socket we're listening on. So client. And as soon as something contacts us, anybody really, let's see, TCP. We will accept their contact. How's about that? Well, the server will anyway. So let's accept by the server. And if it's a client, anybody will do. Any old client will do. If it's a client, then comms are open. What should we do? The comms are open. We've got a client. They've just contacted us. We'll do something. Let's see, what can we do? Well, we know it's TCP now, so what can we do? Add, close, delete, blah, blah, receive and send. Oh, let's send them. Let's send to the client, whoever logs into us, some text, which we've just written above. Oh. I'm going to need to know how much text. Look, it's an int length. We've got the star data. We've got the socket. Ooh. Let's include something for that, shall we? Hash include. Let's see, what haven't we used so far? C string. I haven't used one of them before. That's got a function in it called string length. There we go. str length. Const char star. That's text. And notice I put C string, not string. So that was the C type string because const char star is C, not C++. And that's why it said const char star here. Now we're going to need that, and again I'm going to do something naughty, I'm just going to add one. So theoretically that puts a null character at the end. Theoretically. I don't know what it's going to put at the end because I haven't got vision on the memory itself. So whatever's in the next memory space after that string, we'll send that as well. Because it hopefully will be null. We didn't clear that memory or anything, did we? Oh dear. What a shame. We'll see if it works. After doing that, well, they've got a message out of us. What more can they want? Let's just close it off. And that will be the client. Shut the client off. So that disconnects your client. We'll then tell it that the server is running. Equals false to stop the server from running. It'll only run whilst it's true. True, true. Once it turns to false, it'll stop running. This while loop will come to an end. Literally. So after the while loop, give a space, and we better just clean up our TCP. And this time we need to close. Guess what? There's only one thing left, so it must be the server. There you go. Does that look good? Does that look good? Does that look like a server? Because it is. That's got to be the simplest server I've ever written. Fantastic. We've got errors. Will it work? Hopefully not. I am not going to run it, I'm just going to try and build it. That worked. Interesting. Okay, let's go to the terminal now. cd explore C++. I'm just going to type build in again. The system cannot find the path specified. Oh, that's because I've already changed the directory. Duh. Alright, so in debug, I'm still not happy that whether this is actually building or not, so I'm just going to delete our exe and just try that again. No, I'll do it from... No, I'll do it from here. I want to actually see what it says. That's right. Main, yep, those are right order. Done, done, done. It's there. I'm going to rename it. You're allowed to. Why not? There you go. We've now got a server. cd debug. Whoops. Clear. And let's just look at the files. There you go. Server.exe. Shall we run it? Oh, that's a good one, isn't it, eh? Windows Defender Firewall, allow access. That proves them on Windows. There you are, server's running. How do I know it's running? Well, there's a little secret on your computer that nobody's probably even told you about. Your computer can use the internet. Watch this. New terminal. Your computer comes pre-installed Linux, Windows and Mac on either your chipset or on your operating system. Somewhere is something called Telnet. Now, anybody who was around in the 60s and 70s, 1960s and 1970s, will remember Telstar, the first satellite, telecommunication satellite in orbit. Well, Telnet is why it went into orbit. That's how old this is. It also used to be used on TVs for something called teletext. So television network is what it was all about. Telephone networking as well. So I think it stands for telephone, because that's how far back we're going for Telnet. Your computer has something called a local host, and that means it can loop back to itself, and that is on a 127.0.0.1. Some people may be familiar with that, some people may not. If you put, I could put an outside address in. I mean, I could run server on a different machine and then put that machine's address in. I mean, you've probably seen me put addresses in now when I'm doing that git clone thingy, and I put in 192.168.0.100 number in. That's my server address from this computer. We'll need the port, won't we? 2250. Hit return. That's Telnet for you. There you go. Connected. Escape character is whatever. Welcome. C++ will be your server today. Connection closed by foreign host. It's done exactly what we asked it to. There you go. You've just written a server. Something about Telnet. If you just type it in by itself, you go into Telnet mode. Yeah, I know. Is it Q to get out of this? Or yeah, Q will do it. Yeah. That's Telnet, a quick introduction to Telnet for you. I'm not going any further on that one. There you go. Press any key to continue. It's finished. So we're back with a prompt. And we could start the server again, or do what we liked. And there you go. That's your server. Get rid of that. But red squigglies. Yeah. Well, I said it was a server. I didn't say it was a well-written server. Do I need all this rubbish at the bottom now? No. We can get rid of that. There you go, C++, all in red. There you go, identifier is undefined. And it works. How interesting is that? If you're using an IDE right now, it's probably freaking out at what we've just done. It's probably saying, what on earth are you doing? You can't program like that. Well, we just did. And this is the first thing, and this is what this is really about. It's not how powerful is somebody else's programming when you use it, especially if they set it up properly and it works well, like this works well. Very clean. I like it. I think we can use that a bit more. We might even write a client. What this is really to demonstrate is how do you write a program? C++. How do you write a C++ program? The answer is not like this. But you can. And that's the whole point. Now, I have had somebody contact me and ask me about real-world applications for the code that I write. And that's going to tie in with this a little bit, because we are now going to have to do this properly, I think. Yes, I think it's time to do something properly, because server is now doing more than what we were doing in string. This is now handling a server, or shall we say the logging onto a server. So this is actually server logon. And that's what you would use this for. You would use it for a chat server. Mainly. There are other kinds of servers that you could use TCP for. But it's used in instances, well, logging on servers to all of the games that you play online. They are all TCP servers. The actual game itself probably isn't a TCP server. It's probably a UDP server, which is a user datagram style, which is just send and hope. You just put the UDP is more like the postal service. You just put your letter in the post box or give it to the postal service and hope they deliver it. And most of the time they do. But sometimes it goes astray. Well, that's UDP for you. In a real-time environment, if something gets missed or fails to arrive, it's too late anyway to resend it, so TCP is useless. So there's just no point. The point at which that information was valid has gone. You haven't got time to go back and say, could you resend it again, please? So that's why they use UDP. TCP can resend it, like a chat server would use it, because the information that it's sending, all of it has to go through. And you can queue it up because a chat server isn't real-time dependent. Although it looks real-time, a 1 second or a 2 second lag on a chat server isn't going to be noticed. On FPS game, first-person shooter, I think a 1 second or 2 second lag time, well, it just makes it unplayable. So TCP, be careful, be wary what you use it for. It's good for a lot of things, like if you're ordering, nowadays in Britain we order our medicine, our prescriptions online, and that's a TCP server. So yeah, a lot of the servers that you will see out there are TCP server. In fact, a lot of the first games that were published were TCP servers, and they ran into problems, obviously. But there you go. Isn't that nice? Something that works badly. We're going to have to fix that error though, and that's the next episode, where we are going to talk about how should we write programming. Well, how should we go about writing C++? You've just seen me throw it together at the moment. So I've thrown out a couple of functions for module 1, and now I've put what is deservedly more than a function. It's doing a lot more than one thing, this, in module 2, and I've also included module 2, and it's given us an error, which is quite right. It is an error, actually, that. But there you go. The only reason why I've got away with it is because it's a text file, and this is a text editor. On an IDE, you might not be able to run this program. I don't know. I haven't tried it. Good luck on that one, peeps. Try it out. But I'm happy. I hope you're happy, because I'm going to put that down as a done. Everybody out there, take care. Thanks for watching. And of course, have fun.